What is up, guys? It's Antoine here from Misfit TV. Misfit TV is all about entertainment and comedy coming straight to you. And today we have my great host with the most, who's ready to post. Oh,
Oh man.
Jalon J. Hit him with the J. Hold up. Shoot it. Hit him with the J.
Shoot the J. Shoot it!
What's up? So what's up with you, Jay? How you feeling today, man?
I'm chilling, bro. I'm feeling real good right now. How about yourself?
I'm feeling good too, man. I'm always good, bro. I'm always sipping easy, sipping cleanly. You know what I mean?
I love
Remember
to
that.
hear it.
Remember that. Sipping cleanly.
Yes, sir.
Gatorade. If you like our
man,
podcast,
don't.
Holla at me.
Shameless plug.
Holla at me. I will promote the hell out of your drinks.
Oh,
I
big
drink
facts.
Gatorade better than
agreed.
water.
This is a sports podcast.
Oh yeah,
agreed.
sports podcast. Son.
Agreed.
Look. Yeah.
Oh man, you better drop that in the comments so we don't get copyright.
Oh, and then we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. Weighing in at 148 pounds, standing 6'4", with a wingspan large as a 7'7". He can jump into the middle of the volcano and come out. He can jump into the middle of the Grand Canyon and do it. His name, he ain't a lame. It's Rain, it's Jake. How you doing, Jake?
Bro.
How you like the intro?
Good.
You like the intro? You like the energy?
He's saying, "Oh man, I thought Jake was gonna disown you for that one, bro. I ain't gonna lie."
Nah, he don't disown me. I was helping him out, man. Yo, you want to rant about Towson's like dorming situations right now, like housing situation? You want to rant about that real quick? How you feeling?
I mean, I have a chance to appeal because I didn't qualify for on-campus housing, but I'm not going to. I mean, there's people that need it more than me who, can't physically commute, or they have dangers of living with someone that's immunocompromised, and I'm not one of those people, so I'm just kind of rolling with it.
All right. I feel you. See, he rolls with the punches. Roll with the punches, Jake. That's his nickname now. Roll with the punches, Jake. I like that. Why you always hating? You know what I mean?
Like with that.
J.O. All right, now I'm talking about earlier. I'm talking about earlier.
Come on, man. That's all camera stuff. That's all camera stuff, man. Come on, chill.
All right, guys, and we want to welcome you to another episode of Buckets Only Podcast. Rep it. Wear it on your T-shirt. We're gonna have some T-shirts coming out. We're gonna have some merchandise. We want everybody to wear it. We want your child to wear it. We're gonna make some masks for like the COVID. You know what I mean? We're gonna make some masks. It's gonna be like B.O.P across your mask. People gonna wonder where you got it from. Yeah, got it from us. Creator Source Studios. Got it from that. Got it from MisfitTV, baby. Remember, also follow MisfitTV on all of its social medias, and you'll find that in the description box below. So J&J, today, you see how that rhymed? That was unintentional too. We're going to discuss a couple of different topics. We want to discuss everything basketball related that we have in the news today. And we want to thank you for watching our first episode, and definitely stay to this one and then watch our next one after that one too, and then watch 10 episodes down. Today, one of our first topics that we're going to talk about is COVID-19. COVID-19 has been spreading its germy paws all over the sports world, guys. It's been striking everywhere. It has strike football. It has strike maybe soccer. I'm not too sure. I don't watch soccer, so I wouldn't know. FIFA, I don't even play FIFA, so they don't even win on that. But didn't shock the WWE, which has a bunch of positive COVID cases, but that's for another podcast on another day. Definitely check that one out because I'm gonna do a rant on the WWE one day. I'm just getting my bearings up. I just gotta watch enough Jim Cornette to get into the very angry mode so I can do it. COVID-19 has affected basketball and the basketball return because there's a couple of players that have tested positive for this very disease. I'm gonna start off with my boy Jay. Jay, hit him with the quickness, man. What's up?
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is messing everything up, but I think it honestly just puts into perspective just how
Precious
weird
life
of a
is.
year it is, man. That too, man. I mean, it's one of them things where it's just like, bro, I mean, with everything going on in the business world aspect of things in terms of, places reopening, trying to bring people back within limited usage of certain stores and limiting the amount of people that come in and different stuff like that. I mean, man, it shows just how much, the business never sleeps attitude, you know, you can't escape a disease, bro. Like it's one of them things where, like, even with the plan that the NBA felt like they set up and put together and all of that, I mean, we're still in a position where even with a return date, we still just aren't so sure if you can really bring the league back. I mean, if it's not players coming down with COVID-19, it's players choosing not to come back because of COVID-19 or a lot of the social injustice stuff that's taking place, which also completely commend them for that because, your stance in society as a human being goes way beyond anything you do on the court because you have to be a citizen first and, a ball player later. So, I mean, it's just, I mean, it just really puts into perspective just how, you know, just when you think you're safe, nah, man, you still got to keep your toe. You got to stay on your toes and pay attention because things are happening, whether you want them to or not.
Of course, and that's one of my big things that I just want to tell everybody here is that I hope you guys are staying safe. Definitely wash your hands, definitely wear masks, and definitely stay 6 feet away from everyone because this disease is very serious. And to see a lot of the basketball players going through this, there's a bunch of different names, and we're going to mention them pretty soon. Who's been going through this and just seeing the effect that that has on the sport. Again, the number one question is should they even come back in general? That's the number one question. But Jake, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you feel about this whole COVID-19 situation with basketball? And then from there, I want to open up the floor for that question. So what's up?
I mean, I really see this as a practice run for the NBA. Like they've planned for this. They have to because Adam Silver has come out within the past couple days and said, like, look, if COVID spreads quickly throughout the bubble, like you need to expect that we're gonna cancel the season. It's not worth it. And so you're seeing, I think there was a report a couple of days ago where like 16 out of 302 or 300 people tested positive for COVID, and I think that's just a start. I think a lot more people are going to get it as they start going out in public and practice facilities. Um, I mean, I know that there were like 4 guys on the Kings and a couple guys on the Nets that tested positive within the past week, and even the Nuggets just closed down their practice facility. So while I am excited and hopeful that they get the season back, I understand that they got to stay safe. And if COVID is spreading throughout the bubble, I just don't see how it's worth. I don't see how it's worth it for them to play.
Next question to you guys is just how do you feel like do you feel like basketball should even return? I know we talked about this a little bit last week, but really like you see all these problems that is starting from this disease. You can't play with it. It's not the flu. People love to say it's the flu. It is not the flu. We have to take this
Jordan,
thing seriously.
MJ played a game with the flu. This is not. This is much different.
This is much different where you can fall out, you can die. People have been dying all across the country. So, like, do you even think basketball should have returned?
I mean, I think it can if it's in a safe manner. I think that what they should do is they should have everyone get to the bubble, which they have like 3 hotels set up in Orlando. And I think everyone has to go there and quarantine by themselves for whatever the requirement is. And if they are and whoever tests positive obviously can't play until they're cleared. and whoever tests negative at that point, I think is fine. And then you still do monitor like their temperatures and make sure they don't get fevers and stuff, because that's like an early onset for the disease. But I think if they have a good system in place that accounts for guys that are actually going to get the disease, I think they can play.
Man, it's so conflicting, but I mean, I gotta piggyback off of some of the points we said in the last video. Like the biggest thing is like obviously, this is like a life thing at this point. The safety of individuals is like a really big deal. And we can act like with all this social justice stuff taking place that like COVID just like kind of disappeared, but we all know that it's still affecting businesses, people individually, things like that. When it comes to Jake's idea about, kind of quarantining people off, I think it's still a great idea to try to continue to weed out the individuals that do have it, because this idea of just thinking that they can all return and we'll kind of just figure it out as we go in terms of finding out who it is that has it. I feel like it's just kind of delaying the inevitable that they're going to have to call it a quits, because if they find out too late that a lot of people that are already in that bubble zone together, you're practicing, working out together, this, that, and the third, are passing it off to each other, eventually we're talking about whole rosters not being able to play or being at risk to the potential of not wanting to play because they feel like another team has too many guys who came down with something. So it's one of those things where,
Mhm.
I mean, they still have some time. I mean, we have not even, we're creeping in July now. So this is one of the things where, this is where that good old plan they told us about earlier this month. Oh man, we need the full blueprint to that. I mean, a breakdown, a PDF, PowerPoint presentation. We need the whole thing,
Ebook, audio
because
book, everything
hey
like that. I
man,
feel that.
sell it off, do what you gotta do, but we gotta know what the goal is, because like as a basketball fan, I refuse to see anybody's career cut short because they wanted to hoop for 1 year and it happens to be the year that really nothing is going, relatively well. You know what I mean? It's been a long hard year for the world, for basketball. I mean, we lost Kobe earlier this year. That was a tough hit to basketball as it was. So everybody's kind of just playing off the love of the game anyway, because after losing one of the biggest icons in the world, let alone in basketball, it's kind of hard to pick up the ball and dribble again, let alone knowing,
Especially the way we lost him because he was
man,
young. He was a young man. I know he's older than me,
regardless of
but
what
that's a
people
young
think,
man.
man,
That's a young
regardless
man
of what
right there.
people think, and then you throw on
Mhm.
top of that everything that's going on with all of this, it's been a tough year in general. So to think that these little things that are really not so little in terms of contracting COVID-19 and things like that, man, that's not worth losing a life over or losing a couple years off your career for. It's like, dude, I mean, I know everybody and their mama wanted to see the Battle of LA in the Western Conference Finals, but like, man, we gotta know. I know LeBron is limited on years, but he balled out this year. I think an extended break for him, it'll just help him out to get 1 or 2 more years cranked out. I think we can wait till next season if we have to. But I mean, if we have to get the season back, I'm leaning with Jake's plan.
Especially when you think about like whichever team wins, the other 15 teams whose team didn't win, they're all gonna say, "Oh, put an asterisk next to it. The season was cut short. This was a bubble. We didn't have so and so on our team." It's only gonna be the fans of that one fan base that say, "No, no, no. This is legit. This was a legit NBA Finals win. We deserve that trophy." The other 29 teams in the league are saying, "Whoa, whoa, like slow down, slow down. You didn't really get it the way that you usually win." And so I
And
think,
even if they don't say
I don't
that,
know.
they're still going to be feeling that way. Even if they don't say, because people, because the fans are definitely going to do that. They're like, how you gonna call them the best at this, isn't it? But we was everything else that was going on. I'm like, that's there you go. So I would say my next question for you guys is, how do you feel the outbreaks is going to affect just the not just the NBA return, but the United States altogether, man? Things are getting shut down right now. You see, the whole state are getting back into what Maryland was back in April. That's what's going on now because of everything that's going on. Is it safe to really go outside like that? Is it safe to really socialize like that? Is it worth it? That's my question to you guys. So let's start off with Jake. How you feel, man?
I mean, I haven't been inside a store since early March, or since whenever quarantine started. I haven't been inside a store. I've been outside. Like I go for runs every day. Um, but I have not been in a store. I haven't been within 6 feet of anyone outside of my immediate family just because I don't want to get it, but I also don't want to get it to give it to them. So that's why like I wear a mask everywhere, and I just don't think. I think it's hard because we're in an election year, which means that politicians have to play to their audience if they want to get reelected, and that's for a lot of people that means reopening the economy, even if it is premature. But politicians are going to do it if they want to get reelected, and so that's really making it difficult.
How you feel, Jake, man? No, I mean Jay. Sorry about that. How you feel?
No, you good, bro. I mean, honestly, a lot of the same. I've definitely been out a lot more. Only grocery runs though, bro. Only the essentials, big dog. It ain't no free wall around here. Ain't no trying to find somewhere that is open that shouldn't be open. But overall, the impact of it, you hate to say I told you so or I saw it coming in these types of situations because you want to treat things serious. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's expected. With a pandemic, it wasn't contained to begin with. If we're gonna be brutally honest,
Be real.
it was
Be
not
real.
it wasn't contained to begin with. It wasn't treated properly the way it was supposed to, and we were extremely late to the party in terms of figuring out how to really handle it overall. I mean, put this in perspective for a second. The NBA put a hold on their season, and the NCAA was still in the middle of playing conference games. Think about it. Put it in perspective. Jake made a good point about the election year. The business aspect of all of this is so greedy, man. It's so greedy, and as a fan, I like to try to separate the sport and the monetary gain to it. But you can't, because at the same time, that's somebody's livelihood, that's somebody's job, and it's not just the players. We talking about uh people who pay for season tickets. They got to get refunds now. People
And that's
who
a human
help
being too.
people who help keep the courts clean and put together, the trainers, this, that, and the third, in terms of people who are employed through the NBA and the backbone of the NBA. They're the ones feeling it the worst. So of course these are things that you have to factor in terms of trying to keep people's livelihood afloat. But it's like, man, it sucks that we're in a space right now where you have to pick your life or your bill. But it really is that deep. And for some, kind of like what Jake was saying, to lean to those who really care about their bill, you gotta open up. And you gotta do what you gotta
Hmm.
do. So it's
Our
rough.
soc- our society shouldn't have froze rent. Shouldn't have froze all bills during this time. That's really what shouldn't have happened. But
And
then eventually,
it'll trickle up, and it'll hit the millionaires and billionaires who actually can afford to not make $1 million a day.
yeah. And
They
see
can afford.
that's when they gonna care. It's sad that that's what's needed for them to care, but that's when they're gonna care. And it, we as a society need to wake up. We have people out here throwing out bullcrap rhetoric about, oh, you can still go to a beach because outside the thing dies and all this other stuff. Then tell me how, Sway. How did they get this disease in the first place if they didn't get it from outside? But that's a whole nother. We ain't, I don't even want to get into that right now because it's just gonna make me angry. I'm gonna throw my computer out the window. The computer is $1,200. I'm gonna be mad. We ain't gonna do that. We ain't gonna do
We
that.
try
Now
our
we
hardest to stick to sports talk, Antoine, as we
yes.
can, but it's rough. It's rough when it's messing with the game, dude.
It's rough. It's rough, and it's not just messing with the game. It's messing with our lives. It's messing with our
Facts.
lives, and I feel like our leaders did not do the best job to try to prepare us for this. I know this wasn't a situation that you could prepare for, but you knew about this since November of last year. and you decided to do nothing, and you called it a bull crap disease literally 3 weeks, 2 weeks before you shut down the whole country. I remember that.
real.
I
By the
remember that
way,
article in February.
By the way, shout out to the Atlanta Hawks owner. He, I don't know if you guys heard, but yesterday, so because of COVID, a lot of polling places have closed, and in Georgia, there are some like 620,000 people scheduled to go to one polling station. But the Hawks owner said, "All right, we're opening up our arena as a polling station, and that's a massive thing that they can really pack a bunch of people into and be able to socially distance." Just another classy move by the NBA and
Yes.
especially the Hawks.
Yes, and they don't have to be forced to do that or forced to apologize for bull crap that they said a long time ago that they knew that it was wrong, and now they did it again. But that transitions to our next topic is where are we with the league allowing their athletes to have these social, justice, social movement slogans like Black Lives Matters on their jerseys? How's that coming along, and what do you guys think so far of the progress with the NBA on that? So we're gonna start with Jay this time.
I mean, I think it's cool, man. I think it's one of those things. One of the biggest concerns that players had was, coming back to the league. They felt like they weren't going to be able to voice their opinion. They weren't going to be able to step up the way they wanted to, the way they could when they're actually out there with those people, and with us, I should say, really. And I completely understand that. I completely feel that, and I feel like, if it's one of those things where you return back to your job, I mean, like I said before, at the end of the day, the NBA, those players, they going back to work. I mean, it's the same thing as somebody who got called back as an essential, dude. Like I know they're not essential, but it's their job, it's their livelihood, is what pays their bills the same way we pay ours. So I mean, if they're at least put in a position where they can express themselves, where they can, you know, show what it is that they're thinking, express to those who watch, those who pay them, those who are interested in the game, where they stand or where everything is. Is it as outspoken as going out with us with a megaphone and screaming the same things that we're screaming? Maybe not. But does it still put the industry on notice? Does it still let them use the creative minds that they have, the active minds that they have to say, I'm gonna use my platform the way I can do on Twitter or Instagram, but now I can do it on the court? Yeah. And I feel like that's a great opportunity where, again, maybe it's not the same level as being out there with us, but it shows that they, even when they had to choose their job, they're not letting their foot off the gas per se. I think it's a huge deal, honestly.
What about you, Jake? How do you feel about this, man?
I really like the move. It shows that the NBA is actually trying to take big steps to satisfy the fans and also give the players a voice. And I hope it doesn't get overlooked by the fans because I feel like from the perspective of a big NBA fan, like all major organizations are always going to get heat thrown towards them just because they're a billion-dollar organization. But I think it really like the fact that they're painting Black Lives Matter on the court and they're letting players customize their own jerseys. Um, it really speaks to what the NBA is trying to do in helping players develop and use their voice while in the bubble because they won't be allowed to go out and protest. I think it's another good move by the NBA. I just hope the fans take notice and realize how much they're trying to do.
And to me, I think that that's what is so affirming about the NBA and why I really love their approach to how they're doing a lot of this stuff. They don't back down. They're not afraid to put their feet into the ground and say, "Hey, this is what we believe, and if you don't believe that, you shouldn't rock with us like that." So I appreciate the move. I think that is great. I think that we need to start showing more support for our society and stop trying to like close off things from us talking about it. You know what I mean? I feel like that's the problem with a lot of things in this society is that we try to close off things like, oh, they're an athlete. Why do they shouldn't talk? Go dribble a ball, go throw a ball, go dance, go do all this other stuff. No, that's not right. That's not right. And to me, if you're an athlete, you're a person, and you should be allowed to state how you feel about something, and you shouldn't have to go back and forth on none of that other nonsense for it.
I think there should be like more of a need for athletes to speak out just because they have that platform.
They
Like,
have that
yeah,
influence.
their job paid to play, but with their platform they can accomplish so much. Like you have people that are like I think it was like Trey Young and a couple others reached out to like the police districts and like fought with their followers to get officers arrested for police brutality. Like they're out there working for justice, and it's not fair for people to say no, you're not allowed to do that because you're paid to be an athlete. It's like, well, everyone has a job, but everyone also has the freedom to go beyond their job. And I think people need to realize that more if they're upset with athletes. And if you don't want to be a fan of an athlete because they speak out, maybe you don't belong as a fan of the sport in general. You know, it's the NBA is really trying to make steps to fix racial inequality. And if you're not on board with that, I don't know what you're doing.
Exactly.
Well said, man.
Well said.
For real.
And we appreciate anybody that tries to support us and our people and everything like that. And just all people, because we're all people here. I'm not going to start the all lives matter stuff or anything like that, but I am going to say that unity is what I'm seeing out of a lot of these people, and I love it. I just love it. So, in the comment section below, we want to know which story did we talk about that, really like captured how you feeling about what's going on. I understand that the NBA, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things that's running right now, and once the season gets started, we can get into statistics and everything like that. But we want to hear what you think. Just comment in the comment section below. It was great doing another BOP Buckets Only podcast. It was great having the J and J connection up on here. And guys, definitely don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share on all your social medias. Follow us on social media. Hit that notification bell so that you can always be notified when a new episode of BOP is coming out. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Have a great day.
Peace.
Peace.